Good morning, students. Now, before half yearly, I explained you about the food production lesson in class 8 biology, and it was not completed. So today I will continue the further topics. So today I want to tell you about the horticulture. What is horticulture? What is floriculture? And what are the different ways of methods used in this agricultural practices. So first of all, what is horticulture? It is the practice of cultivation in which we grow the fruits as well as vegetables, and not only fruits and vegetables but also some ornamental plants are also grown by this method. And floriculture is the large scale cultivation of flowers. In India, most of the states, they are very well known for the export of the flowers to other countries also, like Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Jharkhand, Assam and Chhattisgarh. So these Assam and Chhattisgarh, they are mostly famous for marigold and sunflower, and these marigold and sunflower, they are exported to other countries also. So this process of cultivation, large scale cultivation of flowers is called floriculture. And there are various practices or methods involved in the cultivation of horticultural crops. First we'll take the cutting, grafting, layering. These are the three methods of how the fruits or the vegetables or some ornamental plants are grown by this method. Cutting, what happens, we take the cut part of the parent plant, and we grow in the soil, and after few days that cut plant grow into a mature plant, and they also start flowering. So that process is called cutting, and this all you have studied in the previous lesson. And grafting is a method in which the two different plants of the same species, they are grafted in such a way, or they are joined in such a way that one part of the stem part is taken and the other is of the root part, and both are combined in such a way that they are joined together, and after few days they become a single plant and they start flowering and growing fruits. So that process is called grafting. So many flowering plants or vegetable plants, they are grown by the process of grafting. And the third method is called layering. Layering is a process of vegetative propagation. These are all the three methods of vegetative propagation of growing the flowering plants as well as the vegetables. So layering is a process in which whenever the plant, they are in groups. So what happens, the single plant, they are bent down and they are inserted into the soil. After few days, what happens, the roots come out, and when they start growing, then it is cut from the parent plant, and after that plant which is cut, now it grows into a individual plant, or into a new plant. So this process is called layering. So many flowering plants as well as ornamental plants and vegetables, they are also grown by the process of layering. So these three methods, that is cutting, grafting and layering, these are the process of vegetative propagation in the horticultural practices. Now we'll talk about the management of horticultural crops. Means whenever we grow these vegetables, fruits or flowers or any ornamental plants, so what are the different management practices we have to adopt, or what are the different methods we have to adopt for this? So first of all, we will take the suitable location. Means these all plants, the proper location or the proper area should be selected for these plants. It is must, and then only we can maintain the health of these horticultural plants. And to protect them from any kind of pest or insect or any kind of microbes, their health should be maintained. That also comes under the management of the horticultural crops. And the third main important point is the optimum soil condition. Optimum soil condition means this soil should be neither acidic nor basic. Means it should be in such a condition that it is best suitable for the horticultural crops. And these crops should also be protected from the pests. So fourth point, we'll discuss about the protecting against the pest. Pest means those microbes which attack the horticultural plants, and they destroy these plants. So their protection is very essential, and for the protection of these plants, some biopesticides or some biopesticides are used. And actually, the biopesticides are those pesticides which are produced from the waste of dead plants and animals. So they are called biopesticides, and biofertilizers means those fertilizers which are prepared from the biological like plants, waste plants and animals. So they are mostly related to organic and this protecting against the pests we can do in the management of the horticultural crops, and proper water should be supplied to them, means proper irrigation facilities should be there for the growth of these horticultural crops, and removal of the weeds means unwanted plants. So unwanted plants should also be removed time to time while managing these horticultural crops or during the cultivation of these horticultural crops. As well as monitoring the growth, means when in between we have to also see whether these plants are growing properly, they are maturing properly or not. So time to time we have to watch these plants, horticultural plants. Next point is drainage should be they are ensured to prevent water logging. Sometimes what happens, due to heavy rainfall, the plants get filled with the water, and that should not be there, and so proper water should be ensured to removed from the that particular area. So drainage should be ensured, and spraying of pesticides, as I told you, biopesticides should be sprayed so that they should be protected from any kind of pest or microbes, and removing the rotten and diseased plants. Sometimes what happens, during their growth, some plants get diseased or some plants get rotten, so that should be removed so that it should not harm the healthy plants. And harvesting and post harvesting care and preservation of fruit crops, means harvesting means cutting of the crop. So there are some time period or time limitation or the season in which that particular harvesting means when we cut the plants, and post harvesting means after. So their care and preservation of these food crops should be taken after the harvesting. So these are all the different points which we have to manage while practicing the horticultural crops, especially fruits, vegetables and some ornamental plants. Now we'll talk about the organic farming. Organic farming means it is the practice of cultivating crops without using any kind of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Means it is totally based on the manures as well as the composting. You all know compost means it is the whenever the waste of plants and animals, they are decomposed by the action of bacteria or any kind of microbes, then the manure which is formed, that is only called the compost, and that is mainly utilized in the organic farming. And here in organic farming, chemical fertilizers as well as pesticides, they are prohibited, they are not involved. And beside this, some growth hormones are also needed, as well as genetically modified seeds are also needed. So these are most important for the organic farming, means manures, compost as well as growth hormone and genetically modified seeds. So they are necessary for organic farming. And in organic farming also we do some process like crop rotation. Crop rotation is a method in which the different types of crops are grown in the same field. Like in one season we grow leguminous crops, in other season we grow some cereal crops. So what happens at that time? So when leguminous crops, they fix the atmospheric nitrogen by the rhizobium bacteria, and they provide nitrogen to the soil. And when in the second time when cereal crops are grown, so these cereal crops, they get nitrogen from the soil which we have grown previously, the leguminous crop. So this process of practicing the growing the crops, different crops in different seasons, this is called crop rotation. So this is very important. And second is the green manuring. Green manuring should be utilized. Green manuring means like compost and biocompost, and these are used for the growth of these plants, especially the horticultural plants, for the growth of the fruits, vegetables and some ornamental plants. And use of biopesticides and biofertilizers should be there. Means this I have already discussed about biopesticides and biofertilizers. They are prepared by the decomposition of the waste or the dead plants and animals only. So these should be utilized for the during the organic farming. Then only they are free from any kind of insecticides or pesticides, and these are very good for our health. So this process of practicing of cultivating crops without using any kind of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, this is called organic farming. So that's all for today's. Next we'll discuss in the next class.